Hello, my friends. My quest for the Extasium went through many difficult and trying adventures, but it was so exhilarating. As I tell you the ones I remember, I realized how rich my life has been with experiences that came out of my brain and that my hands realized. I hope that my fabulous story interests you because I would like to share with you this beautiful adventure which made me discover a wonderful spiritual universe. September 27, 2000. Back to the St. Pierre market. This time it's for synthetic leather better known as Skaï. The test seems to me very positive. In October, I spent a lot of time on the light effects in the electronics paintings. Then, from the end of November, I go back to get some carpets that I couple with Skaï to replace the lino. The result is very different and promising. January 28, 2001. I am experimenting with different kinds of velvet on the carpet that covers more and more surface. July 4, 2001. I come back to cork for the Extasium, but this time it is applied to the walls between the carpet and the Skaï. The result is excellent. During the following month, I will progressively install this sandwich all around the room and on the ceiling. I'm still buying cork and covering the walls of my new sandwich with extra carpet and Skaï. This I'm proceeding cautiously concerning my results. This new modification will take weeks to complete. Speaking of resources, in all these years of researching this elusive picture, I have becoming aware of a phenomenon that may be one of more elements in the belief that there is indeed an intelligence above us concerned by the work I do. Whenever I have really needed money, it has somehow arrived. I have often found myself in difficult moments, in bank overdraft, where you say to yourself, this is it's over, or almost. I can't pay the rent anymore, in spite of the social aid, and my landlord is going to throw me out. What he has been waiting for a long time to rent more expensive. Then all will be lost, since I could not take my prototype of Extasium, and that in any case, considering my state of finance, I would be in the street because there is no question that I settle in Fumil. It would be hell very quickly. In these moments, if I was tense and nervous in the first years before realizing the phenomenon, now I'm quite detached and serene. My only question, well, I can't go any further with the richest aspect that requires expenses. So what can I and should I do that costs nothing but time? I even have the feeling that destiny led me to this extremity, for that I ask myself this question. I realized then that there is a part that I have left a little aside and that only requires time. I work at it, and when I am sufficiently committed to it, the money often comes unexpected, as if it fell from the sky, a small commission, the sale of a works, or help of friends. It's because I didn't have more than the bare minimum of money for rent, frugal fund, and especially for my research that I found solutions outside the box. Only every time I am in a bad place, I ask myself, what if what has always worked until now stopped? But until today, over almost 40 years, It has never stopped. Skaï on cork gives a good result, but there is still a slight muffled sound. I remember then my tries of surface treatment at the time of the speakers in epoxy glass plates for the printed circuits. I experimented with several products to spray and then wipe. The result is conclusive, but it will be necessary to spray the product 3 times at few days interval for a better result. And beware of the dust that remains in suspensions. I read well. April 10, 2003. There is always something wrong with the sound. I think it comes from the columns. I removed the cork that covered them. I'm redesigning the acoustic of the room with 2 mm thick corks, which is cheaper than the 3 mm cork I usually use. I put it on the doors and on the floor under the carpet. As usual, at first it looks good to me, but the hardness comes back. The thickness is too thin. You have to start again with 3 mm thick. Thicker, the cork sound reappears. The difference is very subtle and time-consuming to detect between a sound that sounds natural and a sound that is slightly too bright or too muffled. It is very difficult to determine the real cause. Many attempts, many repeats. But the success brings such a great pleasure to the listening, much more than a simple audiophile pleasure, that it's worth it. Most of all, I hope to be able to share with a lot of people the indescribable and intense happiness that the Extasium sound gives me now that everything is definitely in place.